Hi guys, so I just thought I'd bring you the Megalith FTK. So this is just an explanation of sort of how it works and just how you go through the combo. So this is enabled by Megalith Full, the new one from Rise of the Decklist, and you need quite a chunk of cards for the combo. I'll go through what you really need for the combo, and I'll run through how you do it and all the starters you can use. So this is what you'll need to do: one run through of the FTK in your main deck. So we have one of each of the level 8 Megaliths that allow you to ritual summon. You've got two of the Ophiel, which adds a Megalith monster, and 3 Haggith, which lets you add a Megalith spell. You get 3 Fill, which is the new one. This when it's ritual summoned, you can target a Megalith in your grave. It becomes that level and you can add it back to your hand. You can also rich summon from deck, and it doesn't need to use itself. So for the other little ones, the level 4s, they need to use themselves. This one doesn't, so it can rich summon from deck, not using itself. One Chalice Slime. So for those that don't know about incantations, are just generic ritual support. We're using 2 of them here. So we've got Chalice Slime, which you can reveal itself in the hand and discard a card to add to special summon an incantation from deck. We'll be using the Talismandra, which when it's special summoned from deck, you can add a ritual monster. The other ones that we'll be using, we've got the Noble Knight Renault. So when this is summoned, you can add an equipped spell back from grave. We'll be using the Telekinetic Charging Cell, which means that psychic monsters don't need to pay life points to activate their effects. Gale Dogger will be what we're using, so we're going to turn this into a psychic using the Reprodox in the X deck. We'll be sending that to grave using the Insect Knight Resident Insect. We'll be searching Gigantus off of the Block Dragon, and Block Dragon just because it's good Earth Rock support. And we've got 3 Megalith Unformed. The ritual, well, it's not a ritual spell, it's a quick play spell that lets you ritual summon from deck. So that's it for the main deck. Check the X deck now. Okay, so the minimum you'll be using for this, it's a Gaga Cowboy FTK. So we obviously need the Gaga Cowboy. We're using the Gallic Granite as well as the Searcher and the Garrus to summon back from grave. We've got 2 of the Ferocious Flame Swordsman. It's a warrior that can be made with 2 generic monsters. So we'll be looping that. Those will be made into the Isolde, which is to do with the Infernoble. Union Carrier, which is how we'll be getting the Resonance Insect Engrave. The Reprodox, which will be how Gale Dogger becomes psychic. Herald of the Arclight, because when this is sent to grave, you can add a ritual monster from your deck to your hand, or 1 ritual spell, but we don't play any ritual spells. Because, like I said, the Megalith Unformed is a quick play spell that ritual summons. It's not a ritual spell. And the Omega, because when this is in grave, you can target one other card in your grave and shuffle both of them in. So you're going to use this a lot to recur everything. Okay, so for this combo, we're going to need one of the level 8s and the incantation Chalice Slime. So there are other ways to do it. This is just the easiest. I'll put that in inverted commas. So the Chalice Slime, we're going to reveal it, discard itself to summon it, the Talismandra. Talismandra is going to add as fill. We're then going to use the level 8 effect. So you can use any of the level 8s in any order you want. The Chalice Slime, you sort of need it at this point to get the Talismandra, but if you open the fill and something else to put in grave to summon it, you're also fine. You can search this with your Preparation of Rites, or you can extra Foolish Burial of Herald, so you'll be playing Herald at more than one. You'll then use the level 8 effect, tributing the Talismandra for fill. Fill's then going to target the level 8 we just put in to grave. So this now becomes level 8 and we get this back in hand. We're then going to use the ritual effect for this. We discard this, summon the Ophiel from deck. The Ophiel can add as a monster, so we're going to add the Haggith. Ophiel has own effect to summon, to ritual summon using itself. Haggith will then add as the Megalith Unformed. Megalith Unformed will tribute this, which is now level 8. For the Haggith, because Megalith Unformed has to be twice the level, so that's why this has to be a level 8. So we then get the Haggith, which then will search as the other Unformed. Then overlay these into the Gallic Granite. Gallic Granite adds a rock monster, so we're going to add the Block Dragon. We're then going to Megalith Unformed away the Block Dragon, summon out our 3rd Haggith. Haggith's going to add as another Megalith Unformed. Hope you're with me so far. So we're going to summon the Block Dragon by banishing any 3 So in this combo, you have to banish one Haggith, but you cannot banish more than that. You need two Haggith to loop them. We're then going to Megalith Unformed, getting rid of the Block Dragon again to summon out the Ophiel. So we're going to have Chain Link 1 Block Dragon to add a combination up to level 8, and Ophiel to add 1. So with Ophiel, we're going to grab one of the other level 8s, and with Block Dragon, we're going to add Gigantus and Double Full. So we're then going to use the level 8 to summon Full using Full. So then we're going to link away the Gallant Granite and the Full for our first Ferocious Flame Swordsman. We're going to summon the Gigantus by banishing one, and the Gallant Granite, Full and Phaleg will be banished to summon out the Block Dragon again. Block Dragon and Gigantus for the Union Carrier. So it doesn't matter which one of the level 4s you use here, as long as you only use one. You have to use the Block Dragon here because we need these two on board. So Union Carrier effect, we're going to equip one of these with the Resident Insect. It doesn't matter which one, because we're going to overlay both of these for our Dagaris. The Timeless, this will then be sent to grave because of game mechanics. We're then going to banish this and any two for the Block Dragon, as long as the Resident Insect is one of them. So we'll banish that, the Gigantus, and we'll banish one of the Haggiths just now. I think that's it. We'll get another Haggith in grave. So because Resident Insect's been banished, we can Foolish a insect monster, so we're going to Foolish the Gale Dogra. We're then going to detach two from the Dagaris to special summon a monster. So this is going to be the Gale Dogra. Now this has to be in this zone. We do this in a particular order. So the Flame Swordsman points here, so we summon the Union Carrier here. So this gives us a zone where Block Dragon is currently. Gale Dogra has to be under the other extra monster zone, because this is where your Reprodox is going to be. We have to leave this open here, because what we're going to do is we're going to link these two into our other Ferocious Flame Swordsman. That's why Gale Dogra has to be in the opposite one. And then the double Flame Swordsman is going to go into Isolde. Isolde is going to use, we're not going to use the first effect, we're going to use the second effect, send an equip spell. So we'll send the Telekinetic Charging Cell to special out the Infernoble Renault. Renault effect, when it's summoned, you can add a equip spell back from your grave. So now we're going to link the Renault and the Isolde into the Reprodochus. Reprodochus is going to make Gale Dogra a Psychic and equip the Telekinetic Charging Cell. So now we don't have to pay life points when we activate Gale Dogra's effect. So now we're going to activate Gale Dogra's effect for free. So we're going to send the Herald of the Arclight, which is going to add the final level 8. Because these effects are once per turn to ritual summon, so we're only going to use each of them once per turn. We're also going to send the Omega, because Omega can target another card and shuffle them both back in. So the cards that we need back in deck are going to be the Herald of the Arclight, the two Flame Swordsmen for the extra deck, and for the main deck we need to put back the Haggiths and the Unformeds. So we'll put these back, and we'll put these back, and we just have to keep sending Omega to keep doing this. So I'll just leave the Omega out. So now we can send the Herald of the Arclight again. We're going to be sending Herald a lot with this, so I'll just leave that out as well. So send Herald to add one of the Haggiths, and then not that one, the other Haggith. So we'll send Herald twice and shuffling it back in with Omega until we have Haggith, double Haggith and Bethor. We're then going to use Bethor's effect, which will use Haggith to summon Haggith, which will get us the Unformed. We're then going to put in Haggith and one of the level 8s again. We then use the Herald again to get back the Bethor. Unformed, getting rid of the Bethor to summon Haggith from deck. That's going to add us another Unformed, so we need to make sure we always have an Unformed in hand. We can then overlay these two for the Cowboy. Detach, burn for 800, that's the first one. We can then link off the Gaga Cowboy and the Reprodochus. We're then going to put the Cowboy back in the deck with the Omega that we'll keep sending, and we're also going to put two Haggiths back, an Unformed and the Bethor. So then all we need to keep doing is, if we send the Herald to add back the Bethor, Unformed sending the Bethor, we'll summon out the Haggith. Haggith will add the other Unformed. We can then shuffle back in the Bethor, Herald of the Arclight, get it back unformed using Bethor, summon out the other Haggith, which will get us an unformed. We then overlay this for the Gaga Cowboy, attach burn for 800, link this away into the Ferocious Flame Swordsman, shuffle back the Gaga Cowboy and the Ferocious Flame Swordsman, because that's what we're going to keep doing this loop with. We're going to shuffle back in the Haggiths, Unformed and Bethor. Again, the Bethor can be any of your level 8s, the only thing that really matters here is that you have one of the level 8s and the Haggiths. You're then going to Herald of the Arclight, get back a Bethor, Unformed, and this is just going to repeat itself until you burn your opponent 10 times with the Gaga Cowboy for 8,000 damage. Alright, so now I'll do the deck list for this. So starting off 3 full, it's a must for the combo and for Megaliths in general. If you're playing Megaliths, you need to play 3 full. It's absolutely fabulous card. It's a way of it's a free guy on board essentially, and you can spec from deck with it. It's just phenomenal. I'm really happy this can brought out. Then you've got Haggith. So Haggith again, 3 musts for the combo, and it adds the Megalith Unformed, which is a really strong. It's not a ritual spell, but it's a card that ritual summons for us. So I'm only playing the 2 field, which you need 2 for the combo. It does grab you any Megalith card, but because this deck's very much geared toward the FTK. If you don't do the FTK, you're not really doing a whole lot else. So I didn't think the third one was that necessary in it. I'd rather play a bit more defensively, try and ensure the FTK goes off, rather than the Ophiel. Next up we have 3 of the Chalice line. So you need this for the combo really in the opening hand. If you don't have that, you need to have the full already. You need to already have the level 8, and you need to have something to discard. This is just, it works as any 2 of those really. Then we have the level 8s. I'm just playing 2 of each. I think in terms of Megaliths in general, they're all fairly good cards. I like all of them. You need at least 1 of each of them for the combo. Playing them all at 2 just increases the chance that you're going to see them. I think I think they're just, 2 is a nice number. It's a nice number to see in the deck. You're not going to get clogged up with them. There are once per turn, but they are very useful as well if you have to go for something other than the OTK. Next up is our normal summon. So we're playing the Quackimere Guardian. It's an earth. You can search off of Block Dragon if you manage to get that far without being hand trapped, but it's just a very defensive card. If you open it, just slap that down, because you don't use normal summon for the combo. Everything special summons and ritual summons, so you can just normal summon that, and it's a deterrent for hand traps. Next up we have 2 of the Gildogra. This is a combo starter, but because it is expensive in terms of life point cost, you don't need to always it's great to get started, but I just think I'd rather try and get the combo to get the telekinetic charging cell. If you see it, great, but I'd rather see this to try and ensure everything else goes off. So that's my normal summons. It's five normal summons in a 40 card deck, which is sort of my preferred number. Next up we just have the one-offs for the combo that you've already seen. So we have 1 Gigantus to search, 1 Resonance Insect, 1 Noble Knight Renault, 1 Block Dragon and 1 Talismandra. They're all part of the combos, so yeah, you know why they're in there. And that's it for monsters. It's quite a big monster count, but that's because you're going to be using the monsters to ritual summon anyway. In a ritual deck you would usually have more spells than this, but that's because we don't have ritual spells, so we can't use things like the pre-preparation of rites. But we do have 3 of the Megalith Unformed. You need 3 for the combo, and it's just a fantastic card. It ritual summons from deck. Yeah, it's not once per turn, so it's really good. 3 of the Extra Burial. This is a combo starter. It is once per turn, but it doesn't use a normal summon, and it can help kick off your combo. This searches the other piece. This Sending Herald searches the other missing piece you need out of the Chalice Line or one of the level 8s. So yeah, it's just really good. The Preparation of Rites, it can search you any of your little guys. So if you do see the level 8 and something to use fodder, you can search for the full, or you can get the Haggith Elite off-wheel with that. Just yeah, another way to start the combo. The one of equip spell, you need to play it, and then to round it off, call by, just again along with the Quackmere Guardian, just to ensure that you can get that combo off. So that's it for the main deck. It's 40 cards just now. I don't think I'd want to play any more because you're looking for a consistent FTK. So next up is X deck. So we're playing the one Gagaga Cowboy. You're playing Cowboy FTK. You need the Cowboy. You only need one because you're going to be recycling over and over again with the Omega. Then we've got the Gallant Granite. So this is just a searcher. If you open the Block Dragon, you don't need to make this. You can just skip that step and go straight ahead. We also have the Dagaris Timeless. If you open the Guild Dogger, you don't need to go through all the rigmarole of equipping the Resonance Insect, sending it to grave, banishing it with Block Dragon to send the Guild Dogger, summoning this and summoning out the Guild Dogger. You can't just normal summon that Guild Dogger and get the Repidocus. So these are all necessary steps in the minimal hand. If you open them, you can just skip these. Then we're on to Natis. So Natis is just when it's sent to the grave, you can pop a card. This is just if you have the Herald. If there's something tricky on field, you can Extra Village Burial or Gale Dogger, just get rid of something if needs be. It's just a nice utility card. Next up we have Triple Herald. We're playing the Gale Doggers, we're playing the Extra Village Burials. I just want to be able to do this as many times as possible. If I need to do it 2 turns in a row, then I can. Herald is just, it searches most of your good cards, so why not play as many as I can. One Omega, it's going to recycle pretty much your entire deck when you need it, and it's for the combo. So next up is the Link Monster. So I've got an access code talker in here. This is just if you have the guys on board and you need to close out a game, because we are playing 3 different attributes. So access, it's access. We've got the Double Flame Swordsman, that's for the combo, as you've seen. Union Carrier, again for the combo. If you could play the Buster Swordsman if you wanted. I don't know exactly what you're going to be equipping it to, but yeah. You can also do the Block Dragon. Equip the Block Dragon, it just means you can't summon it out for the rest of the turn. You've also got the Isolde, again for the combo. Repidocus to turn your Guild Dogger into a Psychic, and then I had one last slot. So Abyss Dweller, it's just the kind of thing that if you get stopped, you can maybe just smack down an Abyss Dweller, try and shut them down for a turn, and try and either continue, or you do have a lot of big guys in here. You've also got the access code. If you can just dig in for damage at the end, then that's very good as well. So that's the deck for the FTK variant. It's not the most consistent FTK I've seen, but you can get it off. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's a good chance if you can play through the hand trap. So you do require sort of the call by or the Quacky Mirror just to get that extra protection off. If anyone has any other cards they think they would add, if there's another way to FTK using this deck, I'd love to hear it. I do want to just play a normal Megalith, non-FTK version, so I'll be building that soon as well, just to play about with that. But for now, comment below what you thought of this. Let me know if you've had any success with it. I'll be trying this out in my locals this week, seeing how many times I can get the FTK. So please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.
Shh, not a zombie channel.